Boker Tov, everyone. We are continuing in the Shir HaShirim. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. So we're in Perek Bet, Pasuk Yudalid. Yonati b'chag v'hasela b'seter ha'madrega harinit barayich hashminit kodech arev umarech naveh. Yonati is Hashem talking to Bnei Yisrael. My dove b'chag v'hasela, in the crack of the rock, of the stone. B'seter ha'madrega, hidden in the step, which is referring to a step of a mountain. If you say you have an irrigation mountain, so there's steps, or even the down slope of the mountain, sometimes you could kind of hide under rubble, so to speak, on the slope of a mountain. So Hashem's saying this to Bnei Yisrael: you are hidden in the mountain, you are hidden in the crack of the mountain, in the crack of the stone. Harini et marayich, show me your face. Hashmiini et kolech, let me hear your voice. Kolech arev, because your voice is sweet. Umarech naveh, and your look is beautiful. Rashi says this is referring to the Gaon of Vilna as well. The time when Bnei Yisrael were running away from Mitzrayim, and now they're faced with, in front of them is the Yam Suf, behind them is the Egyptians, and the Midrash says on the left and the right was animals and snakes and scorpions. And they were stuck there. And therefore they're like in the crack of the mountain. And the comparison to the crack of the mountain and the dove, Yonati, is a dove is being chased by a hawk. And now the dove wants to try hiding, so he finds a little crack in a wall. So he gets into that crack and he's very happy, he's safe. But he hears a sound behind him and he sees there's a snake in that crack of the wall. So now he's stuck on both sides. So therefore Hashem says, show me your beauty, show me your sound, pray out to me. In these times of suffering, Vayitzaku Bnei Yisrael Hashem, Bnei Yisrael screamed out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and prayed to Hashem, and we were saved. The Gaon of Vilna, we're going to see in a moment, takes us to the next step. But first, the Sefer Rokeach over here says there's a few other times where we were kind of stuck and eventually saved. Yonati bechagve is the gematria Sarah. When Avraham Avinu came with Sarah down to Mitzrayim, he didn't want anyone to touch her. He put her in a box, says the Midrash. But she eventually was out, and then the whole story happened. But she was also hidden, like being hidden in the stone. So too, we know in the Torah that Moshe Rabbeinu was benikrat hatzur. He was, Hashem said, I'm going to pass over him. He prayed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for it was the Cheta Egel. He wanted that Bnei Yisrael was going to be spared from the wrath of Hashem after what we've done. And Hashem said, okay, you're here in the middle of the mountain, and Nikrat Hatzur is like stuck in between mountains, so to speak, and Hashem's going to pass over him. That's a reference to the Yud Gimel Midot. In addition, says the Midrash, Be'ezrat Hashem, Mashiach comes, we have Techiyat HaMetim. Techiyat HaMetim is going to start at Har HaZetim, the mountain of Mount Olives, right? That's what it's called in English, Mount Olives? Mountain of Olives, Mount Olives. Okay, so Har HaZetim. So, the Midrash says that actually Har HaZetim is going to split, and from there, all those that passed away are walking out of it, and that's the coming out of the mountain, so to speak. Yonati b'chagve hasela beseter is another situation. That's the gematria of shekafa HaKadosh Baruch Hu alehen har kegigit. At the time of Matan Torah, Bnei Yisrael they wanted to accept the Torah, but they said Na'aseh v'nishma. The Midrash says, this is the famous Midrash in Midrash Tanchuma, Parashat Noach, that they didn't want, they saw that there were going to be more detailed rules, meaning, tell us what to do, but Gemara and all these details, okay, we don't want, that's maybe too much for us. So Hashem took the mountain and placed it over Bnei Yisrael and said, if you accept the Torah, you're going to be alive. If not, you're going to be your burial spot. Hashem forced it on us, that second part. And there's a whole explanation to that. But we were also kind of stuck in the mountain at that moment, and we did the right thing. Harini et marayich. So now Hashem wants to see our face and hear our voice. Harini et marayich starts with the letter Hey. Et is Aleph, marayich is Men. It spells the word Me'ah, which is 100 brachot that we're supposed to be doing every day. Also the Pasuk says Hashmini et kolech. Let me hear your voice. Ki kolech arev. Your voice is beautiful. Didn't just say it's beautiful. It said again the word kolech. it's the 2 times your voice, which is the 2 times we say Shema every day, and we're obligated to, which is Shachrit and Arvit. Then we have the additional time before we go to bed. The Gaon of Vilna over here brings that mashal as well with Bnei Yisrael running away from Mitzrayim, and also adds one point to it that when we turned our eyes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we actually saw, says the Gaon of Vilna, the Saro of Mitzrayim, the angel of Mitzrayim from above trying to fight us as well. But we prayed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he said this was at that moment the opposite of when it says in the Klalot that we're going to be lemala mala, and then at the time of the Klalot Kitavo we're going to be lemata mata. That's from the heights they wanted to crush us, meaning the Mitzrayim, it's angels, so to speak. So Hashem said, Harini Itmaraich, show me yourself. Meaning one more test I want you to do. Daber Bnei Yisrael ve'yisau l'toch hayam. I want you to, Moshe, tell Bnei Yisrael to go into the water. Are they going to follow me? And Achshov ben Aminadav goes in, and Bnei Yisrael follow. And then Hashem says, now you're worthy of being saved. I want to hear your voice as well, which is Az Yashir Moshe at that moment. And that's what we say, Ozi ve'zimratiyah. Ozi is strength, meaning Hashem is my strength. Meaning we prayed to him, we screamed out to him, ve'zimratiyah, and then came the singing. When we screamed out to him and we came close to him, then we had the Yeshua of the singing. Also, Kolech Arev is at the time of when we did the right before that in the story of Yetziat Mitzrayim, we sang to HaKadosh Baruch Hu at the Leil HaSeder. And Hashem saw us that we followed him in the desert without proper provisions. We didn't have enough food. We came out with matzah. We came out running. How much did we have to last all that time? We still followed HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And therefore Hashem said, now I could see and I could hear that you are the ones that are proper to accept the Torah. And he says, when it comes to Torah and mitzvot, he says as follows in the name of the Zohar. He says that when it comes to Torah, it's listening. You hear shiurim, you're learning Torah through listening. When it comes to ma'aseh, to actions, that also you need re'iyah, you need your vision. You also need your vision for Torah, you also need listening for actions, but to do proper actions, if I can't see, I can't do proper actions. So he says as follows. There's a connection here to wheat. Wheat is in the laws of Shabbat. So the wheat grows from the ground. The top of wheat is held in a chaff, which is connected to the stem. Chaff is like a little skin that covers the wheat. The process to get that wheat kernel nice and clean is, number one, is threshing. After you've cut it, it's threshing. Threshing back in the day, this is dash. They would throw it on the floor, and the animal would walk around and stomp on it, and that would release the kernel from the stalk somewhat. The next step was winnowing. I remember driving in Morocco and seeing people doing this at the side of the street. Now they have machinery for it. But winnowing would be, they would gather the whole pile, and a person would go with a pitchfork and throw it in the air, and from the wind, it's going to blow away all the chaff. The kernels are thicker, and the kernel's going to come down totally clean. So he says that's also when it comes to man. Man, we're bound by the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara has us wrapped around his finger. We're covered by him. The way to start releasing ourselves is, number one, is Ma'asim Tovim, good actions. Now we've started a little bit, but there's a second step also. If you want to properly, fully be clean, you need the Or Torah. You need the light of the Torah, then you'll fully be clean. And that's what he says over here as follows. Harini et marayich. I want to see your beauty. So he said seeing has to do with actions. That's Ma'aseh Mitzvot. I want to see your actions. Next step is Hashmeini et kolech. Let me hear your voice, the voice of Torah. And now that you're fully clean, so because it's interesting, the Pasuk then says Ki kolech arev, your voice is beautiful, and your voice is sweet, and your vision is beautiful. First we mentioned mitzvot, then we mentioned Torah. We mentioned Harini et marayich, and then Hashmeini et kolech, and then we go to kolech. Why are we going out of order? Because Torah is the higher level. Now that you have mitzvot and Torah, I see your Torah is sweet and your mitzvot are beautiful as well. So that's the two levels here, connecting to when Bnei Yisrael came out of Mitzrayim, how connected we were to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem saw us in the toughest times and we still called out to him. And throughout our times, whenever we have situations, we only have one place to turn to, of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Hananiah ben Akashia Omer, רצה HaKadosh Baruch Hu לזכות את יוסף אחיו באדם תורה ומצוות שנאמר, אדוני חפץ למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר.